I absolutely love the story I have for this watch. This is the Visitor Duneshore Shallows. So big thanks to Philip, the owner of Visitor Watch, for helping me out with this purchase. I actually picked it up. This was the only watch that I walked away with. I didn't walk away with it there. Let me back up. I went to district time in DC this last year. This is the watch I bought. All the watches there were some great watches that were really tempting me. This one happened not only because I think it's a great watch and I really like this watch, but also because of the story behind of the whole purchasing experience. So a fan of the channel, Leslie, was walking by and she just kind of was being super casual. She just kind of like glanced at me. We made eye contact and she pointed at me and she goes, "Hey, I like your vids." And I'm like, "Hold on, you can't just walk away." So I grabbed her. I'm like, "Come back here. Let's check out these visitors with me." So we were like looking at the watches and everything. She was trying them on. And Philip, the owner of Visitor at the booth, only had one of these in stock. And I negotiated a deal for Leslie and I to buy these watches. I said, "You buy one, I'll buy one." And she's smiling. She's like, "All right, let's do it." So she spec'd it out on the blue ostrich strap. So I had to as well. Unfortunately for me, I had to wait for Philip to get back to his home base and package one up and mail it to me, whereas Leslie got to walk away with it on her wrist. But that's the story of it. It's really cool. Honestly, it's something I kind of hope to do again in the future. Like when I go to the San Francisco Wind-Up show at the end of April, I sincerely hope to do that again. That was like one of the coolest buying experiences I've had, both with making a connection with a fellow watch enthusiast and the brand owner, and you get to pick up a watch that you already adore. It like really just pulls it all together. It just like completes the whole thing. Now let's talk about the watch. So case on this 44 millimeter. This is kind of a bigger watch, but it's going to wear really good, and I'll explain why. But the case is 44. The lug to lug is 51. Look at that case. Is that not ridiculous? I'll be the first to admit this watch is slightly ridiculous, but that's what I love about it. 13 millimeter thick. That's a little misleading, but it's still true because it is 13 millimeter thick here. But you can see how the case back is kind of contoured. So it's more like 15 here, 13 here, so average of 14. But it wears like it's 13 mil thick because the way it's contoured, it wears on the wrist like 13. 22 millimeter lug width, 7 millimeter screw down crown, keeping the 200 meter water resist on this dive watch. Sure, it's a dive watch, right? Inside, the movement is a Miyota 9039er, no date, automatic, hacking and hand winding movement. Beats at 4 hertz. You have a 120 click bezel. It's full metal. Pretty snappy. You do have lume in the cardinal positions, the 12, well, it would be the 12, 6, and 9, because at the 3 o'clock position, it's interrupted by the 20-minute counter, which is numbered out, but it also has little lume plots going all the way around. So the lume shot on this is going to be incredible. It's very good. Now, right away, beyond the fact that the case itself is ridiculous and awesomely ridiculous, is that a thing? Look at the handset. I know you guys are looking at the handset, right? So Visitor Watch originally, their styling cues were taken from the nibs on a pen, a fountain pen. So that's the original tie to it. I think they're incredible looking hands. No other watch has these hands. And I know some people might say, well, they shouldn't have those hands. I disagree. I think they're awesome. This is not the first Visitor watch I've had. I did have one before. I forget what the heck it was called. But I loved it. It was a white dial, a little bit smaller. I sold it, regrettably. You can't even get them anymore. You got to watch the used market, which I continuously do watch the used market. I think I'm one tick off. I have to go back around again. It's going to bug me. I know it bugs you. It's hard to tell because of the, there we go. I think that's lined up because the minute hand was kind of like throwing me off a little bit. It comes traditionally for the $750 price point. It comes on this excellent rubber strap. It's tapered and also kind of rolled over, contoured. It's extremely comfortable. It's plenty long, so if you have a larger wrist, it's going to work. They even have a matching hardware on the buckle. And like I said, I had to buy the same setup that Leslie purchased. So I ended up getting the blue ostrich. I mean, I don't have any ostrich straps, and the watch is already like unique, you know. So why not throw it on a blue ostrich strap as well, right? So let's zoom in, take a closer look. I think we covered the story, we covered the size. Now let's look at the cool parts of the watch. The beautiful, this is called Tangerine Fission dial. It's a beautiful dial. You can see has nice oversized applied markers, fully loomed out, and then around the perimeter, they're actually drilled out on the case there, or on the dial, to reveal a sandwich dial. So there's a little bit of lume going all the way around the perimeter. And if you notice, the Visitor logo itself, the printing of the brand, is in the same color tone as the lume that's on the indices and the hand. And that's because it is loomed as well. So very nice little touch. Case back, check that out. That is super cool. I mean, everything on this watch is one-off. You're not going to see anything like this on any other watch, and I love that about it. The design cues on Visitor watches, I believe, are something that the people, the enthusiasts, the watch enthusiasts that are in the know, and they're, micro brand enthusiasts, you're going to be able to spot a Visitor watch across the room. That's how strong the design is. I think it's easy to spot. I really hope to spot them in the wild. I think that's going to happen at some point. There's enough of these out there because he's in Indiana. That's not too far from Michigan. I'm traveling. I'm going to be down in Louisville. I'm going to be driving through Indiana. Might even stop at his store. He actually has a brick and mortar. I'll put a link to Visitor down below. And I'm going to be going over to like Illinois, Chicago area, and Wisconsin. So these are in that region. So I think there's a strong possibility that I might see one in my travels. So let me pop this on wrist. There it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. It actually wears super good. Love the blue ostrich strap pairing. This strap is amazing on it as well. I did wear it on this one for a couple of days, and then I switched it over to the blue ostrich. So very, very cool watch. Super happy I picked this up. $750 price point. There is a bracelet option. I think it only has like $100, but I don't know if Philip has any of them. He didn't really have any at the show. It's an incredible bracelet as well, and maybe I'll pick one of those up later. But this thing works very good on the straps. So let me give this a quick pop with the UV light. Let's check out the lume. There we go. Just like we expect out of most micro brands, just incredible lume, and this one delivers. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next vid.